Hello. Let me just put the microphone here and then have you chat on my other phone. You know, people say buy two monitors. What if I just get two phones? I got one phone as a camera and I got another phone as chat. I actually want to put the name on this phone. Call it chat. Sorry I'm late, by the way. I was having a business conversation. Trolling business is what they call it. Oh, hello, Mentat. I finally know what a Mentat is. I've been going into Dune lore. There's a lot of interesting lore in Dune. I always thought that Dune is just like that movie with the desert, but no, apparently it's rich in lore. And I know what Mentats are. The Butlerian Jihad, it's called. The Butlerian Jihad, where the people in Dune went a little bit too xenophobic on the machines. And they banned the use of computers. So a Mentat is like a human computer. And they do calculations and stuff. And there's also broken Mentats. Or no, not broken Mentats. They call them, hold on. What was the name for it? Not broken. Mentally fucked up Mentats, let's put it like that, which do not have empathy. Right. Dune is the Lord of the Rings of sci-fi. No, not really. I mean, there's no adventure there. There's no, like, journey to the mountain. It's just, like, pain and suffering. And more pain and suffering. But it's for a good cause. It's like, it's the story of a villain, kind of. I mean, I'm not going to give spoilers. But, like, let me tell you, once the movie finishes and you get into the second book, there's a lot of fucking that's happening. So, yeah. Hello, Charlie. Yeah, Twisted Mentats. That's what they call it. Yeah, Twisted Mentats. USA blowing up a whale is small fry. Oh, yeah, we're going to watch that. Let's just wait for more people to join, and then we're going to discuss the USA. I guess like it's the solution to everything, isn't it? Like it's what America does. Like there's something there that shouldn't be. What do we do? Blow it up. And you know, it works, I guess. I mean, sorta. I don't know. They got rid of it. Apparently Elon Musk is going to vote Republican. This just in. Great strategy. You glue us to our computers in anticipation, then you rifle through your backyard sheds and steal bikes. Why do people assume that I know how to ride a bike? I mean, why would I steal something that I don't know how to use? So, USA blows up whale. Exploding whale. 15th anniversary. Remastered. Hopefully I'm not going to get a community guideline for this, but I think it's fair use by now, especially with my reaction on top of it. Alright. It's only 3 minutes long. Damn it, it should be more than this, but alright. Can you guys hear what he's mumbling?
The Oregon State Highway Division not only had a whale.
Let me know how the volume is like. Because if the volume isn't good, then I'll tinker with it a little bit more. Alright.
It had to be said, the Oregon State Highway Division not only had a whale.
So I never realized just how bad this is. Because, like, I don't live next to a beach. But I imagine it's not a pretty sight. So, like, when you have a whale that goes ashore, like, have you ever walked next to a dead dog? I'm pretty sure, like, everyone had that. You know, like a dead dog, a dead cat or something. Like, you're just walking past it. And it's that, like, horrible stench of carcass. It completely makes you vomit. Like, it's one of the worst smells that you can imagine. Now, imagine, you know, like the dog, but the size of a whale. I mean, the smell is probably the most repugnant thing that you can think of. So yeah, I kind of get that it might be a little bit difficult to get away with this, sorry, to get rid of this. Because, like, what do you do, right? I mean, it's a whale on the beach. That's probably the size of a ton. Like, how much does a whale weigh? I'm really curious now. Give me a second. I need to check the... How much does a whale weigh? It's probably in tons, right? Oh my fucking god. A sperm whale is 41 tons. Okay, like the smaller ones are between 3 and 4 tons. So we're talking about the carcass that weighs tons. Like, how do you get rid of that? You know, when you first look at this video, it doesn't really... I mean, it sounds funny, but I can understand why they were looking for alternatives. So, yeah, you get, like, this... And it's a health hazard. I mean, it... Obviously, like, all sorts of diseases... Yeah, this to me, I mean, this looks like at least 10 tons by just eyeballing the carcass. I smell dead whale and it's horrible. Yeah, I mean, there's probably a fishy smell to it. Drop a lot of acid on top of it. See, that would have probably been better. Just don't touch it for a while and you'll have a cool skeleton, dude. I mean, the good thing about it is that the beach is empty. You know, like, if you're one of those people that can't sense the smell. So there is a illness where people can't smell stuff. Apparently, it really affects their life. And it's very bad to have. Because you can't enjoy food anymore. You can't enjoy a lot of stuff. Like, if you're one of those people, one of the upsides is that you can have this beach all to yourself. Assuming you're not next to the whale. But still. Oh, you said 50 tons. Yeah. Throw it back out at sea. Man, like, how do you throw this back out at sea? And why would you assume that if you throw it back out at sea, it would float? I mean... I feel like if you threw it back out at sea, it would just float and then wash ashore again. So, no, it's actually a legit problem, like what you do with it.
It had a stinking whale of a problem. What to do with one 45-foot, 8-ton whale?
Oh, it's 8 ton. Okay. Okay, my bad. You know, I eyeballed it improperly. But still, 8 ton, that's a lot. No fishy smell, just rotting flesh. My car would stink of dead whale from time to time for years after, despite cleaning it multiple times. Why the fuck would your car smell of dead whale? Like, how did your car get in contact with the dead whale? Only 8 ton. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know, like... I should have eyeballed it more accurately.
Dead on arrival on the beach near Florence. It had been so long since a whale had washed up in Lane County, nobody could remember how to get rid of one.
I mean... How often does this happen, though? That is a good point. It's like, no one remember how to get rid of one. Like, yeah, like... Now that I'm thinking about it, like, there is not a standard procedure for getting rid of one. Like, probably doesn't happen that often. Dinos were much heavier. Yeah, imagine having, like, a dead T-Rex in our front yard. Like, how do you get rid of it? Kids in Africa could eat that whale. I don't even think they're eatable. Like, from what I understand, they're disgusting. There's a lot of whale blubber. I don't know. I mean, do people eat whales? Let me actually check. That would be an interesting thing. Are whales eatable? Whale or meat blubber is consumed in Norway, Japan, some Caribbean nations. Either for subsistence, cultural, or commercial reasons. Okay. You're right. This could have solved world hunger. Holy shit, like 8 tons of fish. Well, meat is eaten in Norway. Dude, don't people in Norway have surströmming or no? Wait, that's a Sweden thing. Eskimos eat whale all the time. Well, like, Eskimos don't really have much of a choice, do they? Like, there's not that much things you can eat there. I mean, you got, well, like, you got polar bears, you got your penguins, you got seals, fish and whale. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like I think the main problem with eating whale is that it's 8 tons, right? So you're not going to finish it in a day. So it's probably going to get spoiled. But if you're in a very cold area, like if you're in the Arctic, then the meat probably lasts longer. So maybe that's why. Whale is pretty good. I don't believe you.
In selecting its battle plan, the Highway Division decided the carcass couldn't be buried because it might soon be uncovered. It couldn't be cut up and then buried because nobody wanted to cut it up. And it could...
How are these people staying so close to this thing? It's like, no one wants to cut it up. Okay, but like, why are these people staying so close? I mean, the stench alone. Is this a photo op? Like, are they just like looking at it for the photo op? It's not pork? No, it's not. Look, I had shark. They sold shark at a Romanian store at one point. It was like this fishery, and you could buy shark. It is the most vile thing that I have ever tasted. It was incredibly blubbery. It was absolutely disgusting. I understand like the shark fin is supposed to be tasty, but like killing an entire animal for the fin seems incredibly wasteful to me. Has it started to rot yet? I mean, they were saying it did start to rot. If it didn't start to rot, like, why would they not just hack it up at this point? Just hack it up, and chop it to little bits, and then bury it.
Couldn't be burned, so dynamite it was, some 20 cases or a half ton of it.
I mean, this is the American way, right? Like, just blow it up. So they use dynamite. Now, the problem is, and I could have told them this, and I think any doctor could have told them this, there's a lot of gas in a corpse. Like, if you try to blow it up, you're going to get a bigger boom than you expect. There's a slightly bigger bang, because, like, there's a lot of methane gas, which builds up in a corpse. And this is what's going to happen. They didn't account for that extra kick. You ate good? Zenith. No, this is not Guna. This is Shy Lily. Different VTuber.
The hope was that the long-dead Pacific gray whale would be almost disintegrated by the blast, and that any small pieces still around after the explosion would be taken care of by seagulls and other scavengers. Indeed,
I don't think like things get disintegrated by blasts. I thought that nothing is lost, everything is changing is a role of chemistry, so...
the seagulls had been standing nearby all day. As everything was being made ready, we asked George Thornton, the highway engineer in charge of the project, for his final observation.
Well, I'm confident that it'll work. The only thing is we're not sure just exactly how much explosives it'll take to disintegrate this thing, so the scavengers, seagulls and crabs and whatnot can clean it up.
Like, if you're not sure, maybe don't do it. Dead whales acquire gas and often explode on their own. I see. I knew about the gas, but I didn't know it explodes on their own. Check out exploding sperm whales on YouTube if you have strong God, I didn't need to know that. Should just have thrown it to the sea. Yeah, well, the problem is, like, it would probably come back. But you know, like, that's not a bad idea given the hindsight.
Is there any chance it might be more than a one-day job?
If there's any large chunks left, and we may have to do some other cleanup, possibly set another charge.
The dynamite was buried primarily on the leeward side of the big mammal, so as most of the remains would be blown toward the sea. About 75 bystanders, most of them residents who had first found the whale to be an object of curiosity before they tired of it.
How come, like, all these people don't have a problem with the smell? Like, I'm just getting nauseated from looking at it. I mean, it's a carcass, right? It smells of death. Why are you sitting next to it? They're getting the extra bang from their buck. Oh, you'll just wait and see.
Smell were moved back a quarter of a mile away.
You know why they don't want to bring it back to sea? Because Greta Thunberg would disagree. She would complain about the carbon emission.
The sand dunes there were covered with spectators and land blubber newsmen, shortly to become land blubber newsmen, with a blasted blubber beyond all believable.
I remember when they used to make puns on TV. Okay, and now they realize the error of their ways. Like at this point is when they realize that they fucked up. Like, apparently what goes up must come down.
Our camera stopped rolling immediately after the blast. The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere.
Can you imagine, like, the journalists running away while the fury of the heavens is unleashed upon them and big chunks of rotten carcass descends?
Pieces of meat passed high over our heads while others were falling at our feet.
Oh yeah, the ones going over their heads, those were headed to town. Those were headed to the city.
The dunes were rapidly evacuated as spectators escaped both the falling debris and the overwhelming.
Look at this shit.
A parked car over a quarter of a mile from the blast site was the target of one large.
Can you imagine, like, parking your car, going to the mall, and then you're coming out and you see, like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is this? I mean, no, seriously. Like, from the point of view of the guy driving the car, you must wonder, like, who threw this? Like, where did it come from? Like, you're looking around and there's, like, where did it come from? How did it get here? Why? Like, you must think, especially, you know, in the 70s, Americans were more religious people, like, they must have thought, like, oh my god, we angered God or something. You know, like, Jesus is upset.
The passenger compartment literally smashed. Fortunately, no human was hit as badly as the car. However, everyone on the scene was covered with small particles of dead whales.
Wait, imagine being in the park with your ushi-kushi girlfriend, and you're making the kuchi-kuchi. And all of a sudden, there's whale guts flowing from the sky. Like, you probably don't even know, like, what? You think the apocalypse is happening, because, like, you probably don't even hear the explosion. Like, all of a sudden, there's blood raining from the heavens. Like, you must literally think that God is pissed at you or something. Imagine having to tell the insurance company. They probably wouldn't believe you. I don't know that. I mean, does insurance even cover this? Like, oh yeah, in case of exploding whale carcasses, we're going to reimburse you.
As for the success of the effort, well, the Seagulls, who were supposed to clean things up, were nowhere in sight, either scared away by the explosion or kept away by the smell.
Even the seagull, like, the seagulls are like, they will eat carcass, no problem. Like, can you imagine how bad it probably smelled that even the seagulls were like, nah, fuck that shit. Not touching that.
That didn't really matter. The remaining chunks were of such a size that no respectable seagull would attempt to tackle anyway. As darkness began to set in, the highway crews were back on the beach burying the remains, including a large piece of the carcass which never left the blast site.
You think that this should have been the first way to deal with it? Just dig a hole, then have, like, these little excavators that just push the whale into the hole and then bury it. They make expensive perfume of whale. Get the fuck out, I don't believe that.
It might be concluded that should a whale ever wash ashore in Lane County again, those in charge will not only remember what to do, they'll certainly remember what not to do.
That was a fascinating chat. The blast blasted blubber beyond all believable bounds. Yeah, back then reporters were truly literate people, weren't they? Hold on, I got the new one. I got something else. Give me a second. Let's see if I can find it. Give me a second. laxative. What was it? It was Seagull. Prank. Okay. You're going to love this one, chat.
And all this. And you got it all over my fingers.
This looks really good.
This is tonight's dinner.
Word.
So they took food that seagulls like, and they dipped it in laxatives. And they're giving it to the seagulls.
Oh, he's calling his friends up there.
It's still at the chance of
Explosion Fest 2003.
Jesus Christ.
excellent, dude. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
That man, like this is at the beginning of the internet. This is 2012. Yeah, this is back when pranks were actually pranks. That has to be the most legendary prank. This would kill the seagulls. I don't know. I've no idea whether they're harmed or not, but like in most places, seagulls are considered to be pests, so it's probably not illegal to do it. They really do perfume out of sperm whale? Get the fuck out. I think that would be considered animal cruelty. I guess it depends on the country. So, at least in my country, if something is designated as a pest, then people have a right to do whatever they want to it. Obviously, like, no one is sadistic and actually does stuff, but yeah, like, for example, rats, right? Like, rats are designated to be a pest. So, if you take a rat and you take it to a med school, and you dissect it and you show it to the med students, you don't commit a crime. But if you do that to a dog, you can get arrested, so it really depends on the legislation and the country, I suppose. Why do I know now that sperm whale makes interesting perfume? Like, why is that a knowledge that I have? Why has Chad blessed me with this esoteric knowledge? I mean, give me a sec. Now I know why there's so few people watching. Because I was always wondering, it's like, how did I get from 500 people watching to 300 to 100 now? I think it's the freaking Johnny Depp trial, man. And the fact that I shield VTubers, but that's part of it. Look how well Nick is doing. Look how well Nick is doing. 34,000 people watching. You know, good for him. Like, he actually puts on good content. I remember during the Rittenhouse trial, he had... Why the fuck do I have this? Like, during the Rittenhouse trial, he had... I think it was the top live stream. It was trending, and YouTube shot it down. And every time, like, his live stream was trending, YouTube would shut it down. He would have, like, fewer people joining. Because, I guess, like, that's the way the site works. But still, like, 34,000 people. On YouTube, that's massive. I mean, if it was on Twitch, it would have been meh. But on YouTube, like, a live stream with 34,000 people watching, this is insane. And I don't...
You framed?
Oh, it's just him. Like, it's just him, right? He usually has, like, more lawyers. Last time I checked, there were, like, 6 or 7 lawyers watching the Rittenhouse trial. So, yeah. It's probably why I'm having so few people. Like, everyone is streaming at this hour as well. I think, like, Short Fat Otaku is streaming. So, yeah. I don't know why YouTube doesn't like independent content creators just blowing up. I mean, they are afraid of a new PewDiePie, I guess, dropping a gamer word or something. I don't know, but, like, YouTube really dislikes independent content creators. I have seen independents complaining that they would live stream something, and all of a sudden you would have a message saying like, because this content creator hasn't uploaded content before, we limited the number of people that can watch the live stream. So that's a new one. But like, again, it's to fuck with the little guy. Just leave the little guy alone. You know, like, they built your platform. Why are you like this, YouTube? Are any countries going to leave Eurovision after the whole rigging thing? Probably not, but I hope that they sue. So there is talk about Romania suing. And the reason for this is that they got a lot of money into the competition, right? So, as I mentioned before, people pay $1 to vote. But not only that, like the Romanian television, they have a contract with Eurovision and they pay a lot of money for it. So it's kind of like ruining the prestige of the television for doing that. So they're really upset. Apparently, like, Moldova is upset as well. Apparently, Romania voted for Moldova, right? And Moldova voted for Romania. This is kind of like all the time happening in the history of Eurovision. And there were a lot of Romanians upset that Moldavians didn't vote for us. But apparently they did, right? But the organizers, they said, no, we found some voting irregularities, so the correct result is that both Romania and Moldova voted for Ukraine. And it's just like, well, that's not what happened. But they admit it. Like, it's not speculation or anything like that. Like, the organizer said, oh yeah, well, there's some voting irregularities, so we're just going to fix the result. I got invited to interview at Google in a high position. I'm conflicted. How to blend into a woke company? I mean, that's not difficult, man. Just keep your head down. You know, like, pretend you're in the Soviet Union. Don't talk unless it's necessary. Don't have opinions. You know, like, check the atmosphere and try to just go in, do your job, and get out. The televoters deserve a refund. Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're not going to get it. And most people aren't going to even complain because it's like, well, you know, it's a $5 text, right? So it's $5 to vote. But still, it's... Like, let me put it this way. You're going to get fewer people voting next time. Like, if people expect that, okay, well, it doesn't really matter how I vote because at the end of the day, the competition can just choose whoever they want. Well, I don't think people will vote that much. It's not even about Orange, man. Like, Eurovision did this for a while. Most people knew. But it wasn't, like, so upfront. It wasn't so in your face. It probably would, like, if they get sued for fraud, I think the television would win. Again, like, the Romanian television presenter is incredibly outraged over this. Like, she was fuming because, like, she literally couldn't believe it. Like, she literally couldn't believe it when it was told to her. So, let me show you something else. There's a trend now going around where VTubers compare their VTube avatar with their boobs in real life. And I have seen a couple. But, like, there is that one picture. There is that one picture that made me go, what the fuck? Let me see if I can find... Look at this, chat. Real life versus VTuber Booba. Had to join on the trend. Dude, no way. Okay? No way this is real. Like, I am telling you, she put socks in it. Like, she had to put socks in it to make it look like... I don't believe it. I don't believe it, right? So I messaged her. She did respond, by the way. But I messaged her. And I said, let me see if I can find... Oh, yeah. I told her, it's like, how do you walk on the street without a starving baby assaulting you? Like, there's no way. Like, I can imagine a baby in one of those wheel thingies. You know what do you call them? Baby carriages. Yeah, like I can see a baby jump out of a baby carriage assaulting her. And she said she flies in the air and gave me the cute emote. And it's like, the math doesn't check out. I'm just saying, like, the math doesn't check out. But she's very nice. She does have a YouTube channel. But here's the thing, right? Like, you see the YouTube channel. I mean... You see her YouTube channel, and you're like, man, she's just taking advantage of young, innocent men. Right? Like, I mean, this is ridiculous, right? And then you see what she posted, and you're like, holy shit. Like, she actually modeled this after herself. I mean, look at it.
Most tacos can speak all languages because they're...
Hold on. Oh yeah, she does a lot of flute. Like, she plays flute very well.
It's me. I made tacos.
Yeah. She did hit 20K pretty rapidly. I don't know if it was before or after she showed the picture, but... Holy shit, thank you for the super chat, Bob. Could you do another video by the fish pond? There are no more fish in the pond. I don't know what the fuck happened. But, I went, obviously, like, during the winter time, I didn't go to the pond. But I went at the beginning of the year, and there was nothing in the pond. Like, I threw, some food, and there were no fish. The VTubers comparing the model to the avatar was always a schizo fan thing, but now it's lost its lusters now that the VTubers are doing it themselves. Yeah, I asked Pippa to cover that. It's like, just get on the trend, you know, report on it. Like, if you have nothing to show, there's no shame in it. I know that flat is injustice, Pippa, but like, that doesn't mean you can't monetize the trend. This new trend is kind of cringe, but I'm not complaining. Yeah, pretty much. See, I talked with Flamenco, because, like, we're both male VTubers, so we gotta stick out for each other. Like, let's show our penis, you know, like, penis to VTuber model. But, like, we can't do it in public, right? Because it would be a violation of TOS. Let's just show it to, like, slip into the DMs of VTubers and show them so that they can verify it. They can describe it afterward. Wouldn't that be a good idea? Simping for Cartoon Booba. Well, it's not Cartoon Booba. That's like the thing, right? Because like you have the VTubers, and they're showing like their actual Booba, comparing it to the VTuber model. Like, let me see if I can find the one that. Yeah, here we go. Right. So this is from Batty-chan. Right. So Batty-chan is the one that I think started all of this. And it went viral. Like, on the left is her avatar, and on the right is her real thing. So, you know, like, that's how it all started. And after that, like, all the VTubers, they're showing their booba. At least, like, the ones that have something to show, I guess. But, you know, like, when this is reality, when this is, like, the fashion magazine, I really don't blame men anymore for looking. I mean, this is Calvin Klein. You know, 1999, going to 2019, going to 2022. So at this point, do you really blame men who look at VTubers with a little bit of lust? Considering that this is the alternative? Like, which way Western man? You know, you got the cartoon booba on one hand and you have like this on the other. Well, which are you more likely to watch? You know, like, you also have like this. New York Post, big boobs are over. Like, I don't know about that one, Chief. I'm going to wait for the fact checkers. Yeah, my troll is unrealistic because I fatter than the avatar. That is correct. But you know the type of content that I would want to see? Like, I would pay legit good money to see this, chat. This is amazing. Like, right here. Like, I would pay so much. I would actually pay a monthly wage just to see this. Like, imagine if Chef Gordon Ramsay actually had a VTube avatar and he would do this with the Hololive girls. Like, he would sit next to Gargura watching her cook. Like, that would be fucking brilliant. This is the content that I would... I don't know how you'd make it. But you would have to pull it off in some way and it would be absolutely amazing. It would be great. Fucking raw. I wonder if he overplays it for the cameras or it's really the way he is. Oh, yeah, I think I do have the streamer that lit her kitchen on fire. I think I have that as well. Let me see if we have the quality content here. So there is a streamer which apparently last week was doing a debut or something and lit her entire kitchen on fire. I found it. But this is a level of stupidity that is difficult to describe, so I guess I need to show it to you guys. So Twitch streamer almost burned down her kitchen. Oh, I think she burned more than that. I never had this happen to me, by the way. Like, I never had this much smoke coming from my pan, ever. I don't know how you can accomplish it. I don't know what you must do in order for this to happen. But if this happened, I would just stop. Like, at this point, you just turn off the fire, throw away what is in, and rethink what you have done. You know, like, okay. At least the 911 dispenser is closed. Like, listen to the ambulance. Woo! Is that the ambulance or the fire department? You know, if you do this in Romania, you'd probably get, like, the fire department coming on. Like, if they see this level of smoke coming out from your house, you don't have to dial the equivalent of 911. They would just come up themselves. So, okay. When this happens, what you want to do is just put it in the sink and leave it there. I mean, no, hold on. You got actually options, right? Obviously, if you're afraid of getting burned, you just put it in the sink and leave it there. Make absolutely sure you don't put water over it. Like, if you put water over it, there's oil, right? So, water and oil don't mix. And what will happen is, like, the oil would jump up at you and you'd get burned. So, what you want to do is just put it in the sink and leave it the fuck there, right? Like, the sink is not made of anything flammable. It's going to turn off by itself. However, if you're actually manly about it, if you have cojones, you can put a lid over it, right? Like, if you have it at hand, you put the lid over it and there's no more oxygen and it just... baking soda, yeah, that's another option. I mean, however, you don't want to do this. So what she does... Okay, she blows at it. Like, why would you blow at it? Okay, like, this is not a candle at this point. But okay, you know, she's panicking. Fine.
Oh shit, oh shit.
So, she wants to put it in the sink.
Shit. Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Why does she take it out of the sink, though? You just leave it in the sink. There's nothing there to burn. Like, I know it looks scary, right? Because, like, it went like this. I think, like, the oil jumped out. Right? But even then, it's like, alright, so what? The only reason it got on the table is because, like, okay, so she's making these wide movements, like throwing the oil. Now I see what's happening. Okay, so the reason this happened is because she was moving it too fast and dropped the oil on the ground. Right? But if she would have just calmly took it and put it in the sink in a calm manner, none of this would have happened. Look at this. Holy shit. Why is her mouth as if she is surprised to see me? Is this like the Pog thing? Is Pogging the lifeblood on Twitch? She pogged, didn't she? Yeah, you can see the drops. Like she's just waving this around the kitchen. Casting pyromancy, whatever. Like inflago, baby. Okay. So now she puts it back. Honestly, if you leave it here, it would probably still be fine. I mean, this thing is designed to suffer the heat. So if you just leave it here, it's probably fine.
Oh god. Fuck. I don't know what to do, guys. I don't know what to do.
The last thing you want to do is play with it. Just put it somewhere and leave it there. Throw a blanket over it.
Shit. Help!
I don't think that screaming help at your chat is going to help much.
Help!
It's like a bark. Help! I don't think it works.
Help! I don't know what to do, you guys! Guys, I don't know what to do!
I don't know, like, what does she expect? Like, the chat to dox her in real time? Take a plane ticket, fly all the way to her kitchen and help her out? Yeah, she's asking chat for help. Look, normally, if it was a video game, yes, you can ask chat for help. But under this situation, I don't think, like, chat is able to help. During her subathon, streamer Jeanne Caron was cooking for her viewers with an overheated pan and smoked the room up before the pan started catching a flame. Give me a second, chat. Sorry about that. The streamer later announced in an Instagram story that she was fine and mentioned that the fire department came to film. Oh my fucking god, the fire department. See, they were getting ready. They probably watched her stream. No, I think the fire department probably watched her stream and they were like, oh well, she's going to need this eventually. Let's just go there. Chat should put out the fire. I think they could have started the sub train, but I don't think they could have put out the fire. Hold on, there's an entire article of this. Twitch streamer begs viewers for help. Oh my fucking god. Twitch streamer begs viewers for help after cooking stream. Can you imagine if she was a VTuber? Like, people wouldn't know if she's performing or is it real. After Ludwig's runaway success with his record-breaking subathon, streamers Twitch running subathons with bigger and wider premises have become a norm. Yeah, I like how things go on Twitch. Like, someone does something stupid and then everyone tries to outdo that person rather than come up with something original. But okay. For one, this pushed the content almost to a catastrophic outcome. Kelly was cooking for her viewers with an overheated pan. The pan caught fire. She forgot oil safety 101. Here's a refresher. After splashing water onto the fighting pan. Yeah, that's what happened. Like, she actually let the sink run water over the fan. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, she dropped water over it. The fire department sent help by super chatting water emojis. Oh my god, I'm going to steal that joke. She's making flame bows. that was a very hot stream. I'll tell you that. She deliberately made it worse for clicks. I don't think she made it worse for clicks, to be honest. No, I think, like, her reaction was genuine. Like, if she was to make it worse for clicks, I don't think she would have sprayed oil all over her kitchen. I mean, that would have been even more stupid if she made it worse for clicks. Because, like, you can literally set your house on fire by playing with this shit. So, responses on Reddit were a mixture of sympathetic and belittling around. Like, I mean, it is kind of belittling. Like, look, you need to know your way around the kitchen, because, like, you have neighbors, okay? Your neighbors didn't do anything to deserve the potential shit that you're going to throw your way. I'm pretty sure that she's got insurance, but the question is that do her neighbors have insurance? She looks like she lives in a tenant building. There's probably hundreds of other families living there. Like, they don't need your shit. If you want to set fire to your house, you know, like, try not to, but, like, if you really must, don't do it in a tenant. Thank you for the subscription, Bob Kalman. Really appreciate it. She does not care about her neighbors. Well, yeah. After urging her viewers to share the clip of her starting a small flame, she left her live stream while heading to get bandages for her injured hand. Responding to criticism that pushing for the video to go viral is an irresponsible action, she said, well, yeah, I'm going to fuck myself up and at least let me exploit it. Well, you know, I don't mind. I mean, it is funny. Don't get me wrong. It's a good moral on what not to do. Quote unquote injured. Hey, well, I don't mind that she wants people to share her shit. I mean, she is a content creator, right? Like that's what we do. We want people to share our videos. And I'm not against it. I don't know, like, why Americans are so freaked out about things like this. It's like, okay, well, fine. I mean, it is funny. The video is, you know, I noticed this. Like, Americans are really weird when it comes to tragedy. Like, when it's about tragedy, the correct way of dealing with tragedy is to just deal with it in silence, remorse, and go like, oh my god, but that's not how real life works. Like, a lot of people, when they see a tragedy, they can deal with laughter. I mean, I have seen many people who lost loved ones, and they were joking about it, but that doesn't mean, like, they weren't actually feeling the pain or they weren't suffering. But it's like their way to deal with the suffering. And, like, a lot of people don't want to dwell on the tragedy, so they want to move on. It's why it's called gallows humor. Even I, when I cut my head really bad, you know, like, I went to the hospital and I was joking around. I didn't just go like, because you gotta be scared and stuff. So that doesn't apply to American culture. Like, in American culture, if you have a tragedy, if you did something bad, you need to deal with it the way that it's acceptable. And that is like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened. All right, let's not talk about it. Like, please don't bring it up because it's stressing me. Don't. Whatever. Laughter is a coping mechanism. Like, honestly, unironically, I know more people who deal with tragedy by laughing than I know about people that deal with tragedy by bottling in or, you know, like, crying or whatever. But I'm also thinking about, right, like, so let's say you have, like, a tragedy, an explosion, a train wreck or something, right? In America, it's considered incredibly improper to joke about it. But I looked at a friend of mine who's from Serbia, and they said that people joke about the genocide there, you know, like on television and stuff, and politicians joke about it. Now, that doesn't mean that they're trivializing it, but it's the way Eastern Europeans cope. Like, we had so much shit happen to our countries in Eastern Europe. The historical trauma, generational trauma, like the left likes to call it, that the only thing we are best at is laughing about it. Yeah, it's like a different type of culture, I guess. Like, we just make fun of difficult situations. But if you did that in America, you'd probably get canceled. So, what can you do, you know? They would in Serbia. Yeah, of course they do. Are you a VTuber? I am a VTuber. What is up with the squiggly letters? There's just so many squiggly letters. It's like a declaration of war. I can't even click on this person's channel. Like, why did YouTube remove this, right? Like, it used to be that you could view a person's channel by looking at the chat. But now I can't for some reason. Like YouTube removed the ability to check who the person is. I can't even pronounce the name. It's squiggly letters. That's what I'm calling him. Squiggly letters. Says something about your mama. Come to Poland, you will love our dark humor jokes. Oh my fucking god, like Poland got gangbanged by Germany and by Russia. Right? I mean, the suffering of the Polish people. Man, let me tell you how fucked up the history of Poland is like. Do you know how their national anthem starts? Let me see. Poland national anthem. Like, when you read the first line of the Polish national anthem, you know everything there is to know about Poland. Poland is not yet lost. That is their national anthem. Look at this, chat. Look at this, okay? Like, this tells you everything you need to know about these people. This is how their national anthem starts. Like, this is... and you know, they're not fucking around. This is true, like... Just so you can understand where Poland is coming from. I hope Sweden doesn't join NATO. We'll get 200% more woke stuff imported. We are pretty spare. I don't think like NATO and woke stuff are contingent to one another. And you are kind of joining. Yeah. I don't think you have a say in it. It sounds pretty cynical. It's not cynical. It's true. Poland is not yet lost is like literally the motto of Poland. And if you read Polish history, you will understand why. It's like they still have more to give. By the way, this is so when this shit was written, like, hold on, just so you can understand, because like you think that this has to do with Germany and Russia. No. This was written in 1797. Okay? So 1797. That's when Poland is not yet lost. Okay? Like, it was 300 years ago. Expressing the idea that the nation of Poland, despite lacking an independent state of their own, had not disappeared, as long as the Polish people were still alive and fighting for its name. Soon, it became one of the most patriotic songs in Poland. Jordan Peterson is making fun of woke Sports Illustrated magazines for posting mediocre booba. This is why guys enjoy VTubers anime now. Man, like, the radicalization of Jordan Peterson is like, mwah. Absolutely, mwah. Yeah, the problem is not NATO, it's the European Union. But like, to be honest, when you look at Swedish history, they either go to like extreme far right. I mean, like, Sweden in history had one of the most difficult to bear technocratic governments. Like, they were so far up religious that people ran away from Sweden just to escape that. And then they went incredibly far to the left. Like, they're probably the only nation on earth that voted for communism into office. Like, they legitimately voted for a socialist regime. And then they went far to the right again. And then far to the left. Like, Sweden doesn't know any type of middle ground. They just don't understand how to be normal. Like, either extremely left or extremely right. That's the flavor that Sweden comes in. Netherlands, French, CSA, and Swedish national anthems are the best in that order. US anthem is the worst. It makes me cringe. I'm not gonna lie. The US anthem could be better. I'm just saying. I mean, oh, say, can you see? Meh. And you need a woman to sing it. It's not even a manly man anthem. Romanian anthems is pretty badass. But French anthem is also really great, yeah. I do like the Polish one. Again, if you think the American anthem is great, like, listen to a couple of European anthems. And then you're going to see the difference. I mean, Romanian anthem lyrics. Listen to this. Alright, and compare it to the American anthem. So wake up Romania from the sleep of death refers to the fact that we were under Ottoman occupation, and other minorities came here, like the Huns, the Tatars, the Goths, the Ostrogoths, the Visigoths, the communists, and all of them, you know, tried to remove patriotism. And that this is why the line is like, wake up Romania from the sleep of death. Because like if you don't wake up and you don't care about your national sovereignty, like it's going to be the death of the nation. And then, now or never make a new faith for yourself, to which even your cruel enemies will bow. It means, like, accept sovereignty. Like, stop allowing others to judge the faith for you, and you as a nation needs to create your own faith. Hold on, let me show you something else. Priests lead with your crucifixes, for our army is Christian. The motto is liberty, and its goal is holy. Better to die in battle in full glory than to once again be slaves on our ancient ground. People actually sang this during the pandemic. Didn't really please the politicians. They didn't really appreciate it. You know, they were trying to lock the churches and stuff in order to keep people safe. That didn't work out. But, yeah, so we consider liberty to be holy. This is why, like, a lot of Romanians resonate a lot with American ideology. And the army is Christians. Like, priests lead with your crucifixes, for our army is Christian. This is, probably due to the fact that, we and the Ottoman Empire had a lot of, disagreements in the past, you know? Alright, Shenev Vremla Ukraina, similar song in Ukrainian. They have a lot of common in Poland, with Poland. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Let's see. Vlad Tepes for president, yeah. There was like, hold on. Oh, maybe I should just show this. It's kind of funny when you look at I think it was Pakistan or Qatar. I forgot which one. But like when you go to when you have a world leader, like for example, the American leader, go to Middle Eastern nations and they don't know how to properly sing the anthem, it causes some hilarious events. I'll probably show it next time I'm streaming because we're getting really close to 1 hour. And I like to keep these streams short, considering that I'm streaming every day. You guys would get bored of me if I keep overstaying my welcome. But yeah, I think like the Russian anthem as well, like the way it was being played in the Middle East, I think it made viral videos over how cringy it was. So maybe we're going to look at that next time. In the meantime, I would like to thank you all for watching. Thank you for the donations, the super chats. I'll see you guys in the comment section, and tomorrow I'll probably be streaming at the same hour again.